Okay, so I always announce myself with a big flourish. Today I'm doing it different. No, I'm not. Hey, this is Sean. My friend Colleen is here, and this is Litvak
Hi.
Leadership Live. Hey, Colleen, how are you today?
Hey, Sean. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I got to play tech support, helping Colleen make sure she was ready today, and
Hmm.
she's going to sound very crisp with her headset, and I'm liking.
Hello. Welcome to Flight 102.
Oh, you're great. That's awesome. So, Colleen and I have known each other, I think, for 3 or 4 years. When I first met Colleen, she reminded me of this story, by the way.
Okay.
It was, oh, she had just joined the International Facility Management Association, and I was having breakfast with her and someone else. And I was taking people to Thurby. For those of you who don't live in the Louisville area, Thurby is the Thursday before
Mhm.
Derby, hence we make it one word, Thurby. And I had some customers cancel on me, and I looked at Colleen and the other lady with me. I said, "Hey, do either one of you want to go to the track for free? It's on me." And the other person's like, "Oh no, I've got too much to do." And Colleen barely knew me, and she said,
I'm in. Absolutely. I love going to the track, and I thought, what better way to network with new people from the IFMA community and then who I might meet there. So the track is an ideal place to meet people and network. So I said, absolutely.
so we had a phenomenal time, our group, and the funny part is, so can I tell this part of the story?
Sure.
Okay, so the funny part is, Colleen had this like high level conference call presentation that she had to give, after she'd had a couple, and so what'd you do?
Okay, so it was very interesting because I was working on a project with a big client, and again, I
Yeah,
was
we're not going
still,
to say who.
new to the industry. Well, actually, the project actually was a huge success. So it was with Ernst and Young, and the ladies I was having my meeting with were out on the West Coast, and they had messaged me, and I had to have a meeting, and of course, I already said I would go to the track with you. So I kindly excused myself from all the betting and having fun socializing with your crew, and the lovely folks at Churchill Downs.
Woo, Churchill Downs.
Yes, I mean, they took care of me. I told them the situation. I said, "Listen, I've got to have some quiet space to have a meeting." So inside the ladies' room at Churchill Downs, there is a janitor's closet there. They opened that up, so it was cement walls and a few cleaning supplies, and they went and got me a table and a chair. And of course, I thought before I left, I had the layouts and the drawings ready, all in my purse. So I had my drawings laid out, my notes, so we could review floor by floor, room by room, what was going to go in the space. And I was honest with the ladies because I said, "Hey, listen, I'm just going to tell you, I live in Louisville, Kentucky, and right now it's Derby week, and here I am at the racetrack." And it went over really well. I think they appreciated the transparency, and in
Sure.
the end, I got to deliver the furniture for that client.
Boom. Big sale and big day at
Yes.
the track. What fun.
Yeah,
So
so it was a good time.
so Colleen is 4 years into working with Court Furniture Rental, right?
Yes.
That's the official name. Okay. And they have a very unique niche or niche, depending upon which way you like to say the word. But before we talk about that, it kind of blew my mind because when I first met Colleen and I found out that she worked for Peptides International, I got to tell everyone, the first thing I thought is, ooh, she must be really smart if she can work at a biopharma firm. I mean, there's just like brainiacs walking around there. So, what was it like at Peptides International?
Oh gosh, it was a great experience. I actually was with that company for, combined over a decade. And they were the company that hired me straight out of college from the university. Kentucky. And I originally started with the company doing some customer service and some marketing. So, back in the day when the hardcover catalogs were the thing, and online, shopping wasn't as huge. Mind you, this is back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I helped a lot with creating the catalog. Then I did take some time off and raised 3 children.
Sure.
So that was, really that's the best career I've had so far, because of
And my
course
wife will agree.
yes, I love being married. I love being a mom. But when my youngest was in first grade, actually went back to work, and Peptides International had another position open at the time. So it was a smaller company. They've grown now, but at that time, with a company of that size, I got exposed to so many different departments and so many different people. At Peptides International, they truly were international. They had people from different countries all across the world, and it was just so awesome, because the best part of that job was just learning about the people I'm working with. And that's where, even when there was a language barrier, that's where for me, I smile a lot. And I feel like that actually helped me really even connect with other employees there, that maybe English was the second language for them.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it was a great time. And so my customer then was, well, in the beginning years, it was really the research community. So it was very heavy into universities that were doing research. And as the years went on, our target customer were pharmaceutical companies, and then other biotech companies that we would partner with. And so I just learned so much. Also, we had a relationship with a company in Osaka, Japan. So I got to work with them a lot too. And so I was exposed to so much at Peptides. But let me tell you, it was a huge change moving to the furniture industry. But in the end, everyone that you're working with, they all are people that, just like you, who have families and their brothers and sisters and wives and aunts. And even during the time at Peptides, anytime I thought I would get intimidated by, oh my gosh, the amount of education those folks had that were in the laboratory. And
That's what I thought about you.
I mean,
I was like Brainiac Colleen.
Absolutely. I am multi-talented.
So what do you think is the biggest thing, the most important thing that you learned at Peptides that prepared you to be the queen of furniture rental in the tri-state area here?
Oh my goodness. Okay. First of all, don't ever be afraid to learn and ask questions. So in my time at Peptides, I would be very honest and say, hey, listen, I'm not sure if I understand that process, or maybe a product lineup that we were selling. It was different where at Peptides, there were so many, there were toxins, enzyme substrates. There were just so many different categories that you sold. It wasn't like I was selling one product for a pharmaceutical company. So for me, in both industries, is being honest, using your support system. There are people there in both companies that have decades worth of experience.
Yeah.
Use that. Ask them questions, sit down. And I always say to people, soar with your strengths. So is there something that you're lacking on and you don't know? Well, ask that person.
Well, and it's not even necessarily the knowledge, the head knowledge that someone has when you're in an organization, but they may understand the culture of the organization or the culture of their section of the organization better than you do. Have you had any kind of interactions like that?
Absolutely. So it was kind of interesting. I want to be respectful of the scientific community.
Wait, let me get my lab coat and geek hat. Hold on.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Sometimes people that are so crazy brilliant and they're in their head thinking about all of the research they're doing, sometimes the natural people skills can maybe not come easy for them. So it was interesting. So in both markets, I know what my skill is. I connect with people, I empathize with people.
Mhm.
And so really it doesn't matter what industry you're in or what you're selling. I think if you show them your authentic self
Yes.
and you take the time to get to know that person, I think you'll succeed despite the industry.
I'll tell you the biggest challenge I have at times, and I know I've gotten better about it over the years, is shutting up and listening to gain knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, not listening to respond.
Yes. Yes.
Just listening. You're good at that. You just listen.
Well, I will tell you, Sean, that has probably been on my list of things to improve on. I would say at least probably the last 5 years. Just because I get so excited and I get so passionate that I find myself wanting to contribute and be a part of it. And so I've really, it's been a kind of a practice of mine trying to, I actually talk to myself and say, okay, listen, just listen and let everyone have their turn. And honestly, some of the questions I have might very well be answered if I just take a moment.
You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to let everyone know you're the smartest person in the room.
Right.
You got to listen to them, and maybe you will be, but who knows?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to use a bad word. It's the age of COVID. There's your bad word.
Okay.
And people are renting furniture. Isn't that like passing the plague around? There's my entree to tell us why court is so good.
Oh my gosh, Sean. No. Well, first of all, all of our furniture goes through rigorous cleaning and procedures that our operations crew, I mean, their work ethic is amazing. And anything that would not be up to par style-wise or cleanliness-wise would definitely be taken off the lineup for sure. But really, now more than ever is really a great time for court because, and I know I've talked to you about this before, but our whole furniture as a service type message that we're trying to send. So right now, with all the uncertainty, it is a perfect business decision for many companies to consider our rental program while they're figuring things out. So I always say, if there's uncertainty, it's a good chance that our program would be a good fit for your company.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen you posting on both LinkedIn and Facebook. So if you don't know Colleen, go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, hit a link, get to know her. She's a good person. But you've been posting, I remember, about bringing furniture out, like folding tables and folding chairs, because in the initial days when the physical distancing needed to occur, people were just like, bring me stuff. Now, did court have all those folding tables and folding chairs, or did Mr. Berkshire Hathaway go out and buy a manufacturing plant and have it delivered to court?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked, because here's how we can accommodate those requests. So I represent the Louisville and Indianapolis market for court. So I'm on the workplace side. So court has a workplace division, a residential division, trade show events, relocation services. I represent the workplace side. So we have locations all across the United States. So for instance, one of my clients is Toyota in Georgetown, Kentucky. So they have been longtime court clients. And the facility managers there called me up and said, we need tons of chairs and
Hmm.
tables to
Hmm.
distance, not just in the office sections, but throughout the plant.
I
So
think
how
that's the post I saw, actually.
Yes, yes, because they actually, so Toyota was on a Lexington NBC affiliate, and they were showing the plant. And actually, I got a photo of it because I thought, oh, well, there's
Woo!
my chairs and my tables, yay! um, but how that works is we're able to access inventory in all the cities that are around. So we may borrow from our team in Nashville, Cincinnati, Chicago, if it's a Louisville deal, which this one was for Toyota, our team in Indianapolis. So basically, we can coordinate to get all the product sent in from our partners. So really, that's how we're able to accommodate those requests. And most of the time, things are shipped in from regions that are close to us.
Okay.
But if need be, and I need to get it from, maybe farther away in, New York or Boston, that can happen as well. So that is how we're able to have the turnaround time and be able to handle the volume of business that we take care of because we have access to so much inventory throughout the United States.
So what drew you to leave the biopharma cutting edge heady industry and go into furniture rental?
Well, it was something. So with my
And
time,
I'm not dogging Court, but it's like
oh, right.
you were like selling, life-saving, figuring stuff out, and now you're selling Court, which is great, but it's not like
Yes.
life-saving, figuring stuff out, is it?
Um, Well, no, not in the life saving maybe per se, because I know peptides did a lot of work with diabetes and cancer and really,
Right. Okay.
amazing things. But for me, I knew what my skills were at peptides was with the customer relations. And although we did have some local universities that did research and some other biotech firms, but a lot of our clients were either international or out on the West Coast. I did get to see them and meet them, and I would go on a lot of trade shows. But for me, I knew if I could get a job where it was more focused on local connections
All right.
and it was on subject matter that was not so heavy on the chemistry.
Okay.
There was, I felt that I could probably soar a little bit more in an industry that I understood and wasn't so technical. And I actually reconnected with, I'm not sure Stephanie is watching or not, but I reconnected with a friend on LinkedIn, Stephanie Birch, and she was telling me about a position at Court on the workplace side. It's a business development position. It's tons of networking, and your business is with various industries. And I thought, okay, this is my home market, my Kentucky market.
Should
The
know
whole
tons of people.
Yes, and gosh, and since I know so many people in the area, I'm already connected. So I thought, okay, that would be really great. And I will tell you, just the industries that I go into are so vast and so different. Where before it was pretty much, the research and development industry. But with Court, after I asked some more questions, because I thought, really, there's a whole position around office, workplace environment in the rental field. And then the more I learned about it, I thought, okay, this might be a good fit. So I went ahead and applied for the job, and 4 interviews later, I took the job.
Very cool. So what inspires you? I mean, and let me give you an example.
Okay.
You, Melissa Cobb, former guest of Litvak Leadership Live, and Jill Robinson, future potential guest on Litvak Leadership Live. When
Yes.
we all got into lockdown, I saw each of you start posting short videos on LinkedIn. And
Yes.
I would look at these videos, and I know this is going to be surprising, and it would terrify me because I'm like, okay, I need to do this,
Mhm.
but ooh, it's video. And you guys truly inspired me to hone those skills and not only create some videos, but I've actually taken more of a veering into lives. So, you guys inspired me to explore new avenues of communication. What inspires you, or who inspires you, or what do you do for inspiration?
Okay, well, I'm going to have to touch on that video piece.
Okay.
So I have found it to be so worthwhile. The people that I have met through the IFMA community that we're both a part of, International
Right.
Facility Management Association. Um,
Absolutely.
in particular, your former guest, Melissa Cobb, and Jill as well, and other ladies and gentlemen in the community who I refer to, yes, they're my referral partners. Yes, they're folks that I network with, but a lot of them have become friends, and we want to see each other succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And we know, when I'm saying we, when I'm talking about Jill and Melissa and you and everyone that's in kind of that outside sales business development role, so much of our success is based on in-person meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the dialogue that we maybe can't get on video, although we are really working it here now.
Yeah, we are working it today.
Yes. I will say, after discussion with Melissa Cobb, she is
Mm-hmm.
the one that encouraged me and said, do it, Colleen, just do it. Just put up a video. And
And had she put one up yet already, or no?
um,
Or was she like having you wade into the water first?
I think she went first,
Okay.
and she encouraged me to. And so I thought, okay, this is a way for me to reach a very broad audience. Because then my market changed about a year ago. I've
Mm-hmm.
added on the Indianapolis market.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just turned out to be a beautiful thing, because doing the videos is just casting a large net where I can share the message of court, show a little bit of my personality, and kind of sprinkle in the Colleen part while still spreading the court message in perhaps 30 seconds or less.
Yeah,
And
gotta be short.
yes, and I thought, okay, I have, I can at times, kind of move and have a shorter attention span. So I'm running with those folks. And so that's why I thought, okay, we talk about, you really learn the most when you're put in uncomfortable situations.
Yep.
And I just said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to use that platform to share my message, to grow my business in both my markets. And then, honestly, along the way, for my counterparts in other parts of the country, that message for them is still the same. So maybe one of their clients will see a video and say, well, I know Colleen runs, Louisville and Indianapolis, but I'll contact Brenda in Denver or Carrie in Minneapolis. And I know they'll be able to offer the same service that Colleen is speaking to. So yes, I'm sharing the message from me here living in Louisville, Kentucky, and filming those videos out of my small office, but I'm just sharing the message. And
Mm-hmm.
it's great. It's great branding. It's great branding for my personal brand,
Yes.
which I think is very important.
Huge important.
Isn't it? And it's been a love. It may have been something I might not have done. I might not have ever done the video sharing the message that way had COVID not hit.
I've told people, if it wasn't for COVID, there would be no Litvak Leadership Live. And then someone said to me, another reason to hate COVID. But anyway, like there's always going to be haters.
Oh,
But
there's
yeah,
always haters.
But but look at what you've done. You took a challenging situation and said, okay, I can't meet face to face. I've still got a network. I'm doing, virtual coffees. Boy, I thought that was like unique. The first two I had, and then I realized, oh, every salesperson on earth is doing virtual coffees if they have a clue.
Yes.
And you went straight to video. So
Yes.
kudos to you.
Well, and I get inspired by other people. I think Carrie Sanders, my friend in Minneapolis with Court, I heard that she was inviting, so we call on the commercial real estate industry, and
Mhm.
she actually called up some of her clients and said, let's go walk in the park 6 feet apart. We'll be outside. We'll be getting some exercise. So, you know, I learned from other people. I'm learning for Carrie. Okay, she did an outside thing. I actually did that too. And we met at the beautiful Anchorage Trail. It's a 2-mile walk. So, and really, my goodness, talk about multitasking. I'm getting exercise in, fresh air, and working my business. So it's a win. Um, but
So you brought up commercial. I'm sorry, you brought up commercial real estate. And for those of you who don't know, Colleen is the president of the Louisville chapter of Women of Commercial Real Estate. I was like just about to pay my membership because I had attended meetings and then
yes,
COVID hit, and I'm like, I'm going to wait to pay money until they start doing something.
yes,
So,
yes.
so
Well,
what's going on with WCRE in Louisville?
okay, so it's short for WCRE, Women in Commercial Real Estate. So in other areas of the country, for anyone listening in, this was it used to be part of the Crew chapter, and so the Louisville organization broke
Okay.
off, and we made our own LLC, WCRE, and our dues are a little bit more budget friendly. And so we have meetings the second Tuesday of every month. And primarily they're around development that's happening in the city. So, and it can vary from in retail, in commercial real estate. Maybe someone's new, like one of the meetings was at Louisville Paving and Construction, and
Hmm.
they went through and all the details on how they designed their space at their new headquarters. We may have a professional development piece. We had Peggy Stevens, who is just an amazing, she's an author and a bourbon expert in the city and someone I greatly respect. Peggy Stevens was just on the panel for the leadership event I just attended at Kentucky Derby Museum. But
Oh, very cool.
we had Peggy come and speak at one of our meetings. So our meetings can sometimes even have a piece of professional development added to it. So right now we've had a few virtual meetings since COVID hit. We
Oh,
are
okay.
working on a closing meeting where it would be basically the economic outlook, looking ahead till next year. So that's something we're working on. And then typically we don't have a meeting in December, and normally we have a party in November. So stay tuned as we figure out, what's allowed and what's not allowed. But programming is really great, and it's a very supportive group, and it's mixed with folks that are in the commercial real estate industry or folks like myself that like to do business with those people.
Very cool. So, how did you become president?
So I actually was approached. So I was a new member. So I was a member for about a year, and I started giving a lot of input on topics and speakers, and slowly the board was like, well, wait a second here. You seem to have the pulse on a lot of what's going on and connections. And
We
so
should put you in charge.
Exactly. And so the board had contacted me and actually offered me the position. And I thought, what a wonderful opportunity for me on a personal level, on a professional level. And again, it goes back to people. I've met some really amazing people through this organization that I might not have met if I didn't have this group. Similar to how we are, Sean, with the IFMA community. I
Exactly.
may not have crossed paths with those folks had I not been, and I will say, a lot of it is what you put into it.
Hmm.
In these two groups, particularly, I've taken on leadership roles. I contribute to the programming, so I put a lot of myself, my time, and effort. But let me tell you, I get so much in return as far as, personal growth and business.
So what do you do for personal development or self-training? Are there particular people you listen to, read, watch? How does Colleen motivate herself to grow?
Okay. So I really like to listen to podcasts.
Okay.
So I'll do that when I'm either, well, my driving has been a little limited, although it is, the uptick is happening with me traveling
Absolutely.
Louisville to Indianapolis and back. So I will listen to podcasts on so some of it may be personal growth, like time management, how to be the healthy version of yourself, putting good practices into place. I'm a big Brene Brown fan. I love her audiobook I just listened to is Dare to Lead. I really like a lot of her material, and so much of what she says actually can cross over from your personal life and professional life.
Mm-hmm.
I also, and now this is actually a practice that I started during COVID. And I know many successful professional people have been doing this for years.
All right.
But I have just started it, actually. So I would kind of be the type, because I can sometimes be a night owl and stay
All
up
right.
late. So maybe I would get up, hit the ground running, checking emails, getting ready, out the door, and just kind of keeping up a really intense pace.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I have incorporated a practice in the last 6 months where I am allowing time for reading my devotional prayer book in the morning, whatever book I am actually reading. So I may have a couple business type of, I got that book that you suggested, Get SHIT Done.
Ah, yes. Yes. It's a good
So,
book.
so that author, one of his suggestions was to always read a little bit of, if you have your devotional book, that's great, but also read another book that you have going, a self-improvement type book as well. So that, and just really trying to take better care of myself, making sure I have all my water, making sure I'm getting my exercise, and making sure that's part of my day.
Yeah.
But I would say that practice in the morning to kind of center yourself rather than, hitting the ground running is great, but I've learned that kind of taking a moment to kind of set the day. And
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like that can be reset too, because anytime throughout the day, sometimes when I'm feeling crazy, like I did this afternoon when I was worried about the audio, and then I was, oh my gosh, how am I going to do the audio? Once I figured out that this would be better, I really took a minute and just kind of, okay, I'm going to take some deep breaths and really enjoy this and have fun talking to you.
Yeah.
So I think having that time in the morning, but also if you need to reset during the day, that's okay too.
If you need to reset during the day, I highly encourage anyone who's watched this to come watch Litvak Leadership live every single day at 3 p.m. Eastern, even if not for the whole half hour, for a portion of it to break up your afternoon and reset. Isn't that a good idea?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Always ask the guest to agree. It's a good thing. So shockingly, Colleen, we are at 31 minutes and 25 seconds of a 30-minute show. It always goes so fast. As we're here in the final 2 minutes, what do you want people to take away from this conversation when they reflect on our time together today? You want them to say, boy, that Colleen Perkins, this is what I got from her. Go.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope my message made you smile. I hope you felt positive energy coming from me. And I hope when you were listening to me, you think, that's a lady I want to do business with. I want to get to know her more. I want to work with her. Or be friends. So I would, and if any of these things that I've talked about on the professional side make sense, I'm always up to meet for coffee or a walk, or how you're comfortable going out to lunch together. So I am an avid networker, as you know, Sean.
Absolutely. If you don't know the person, call Colleen, because if she doesn't know the person, she knows someone who knows the person.
Yes,
There's a group of us like
and I
that.
love connecting people. It is like my passion. I love it. So
awesome. Thank you so much, Colleen. Lots of fun chatting with you. Great insights, and frankly, you're easy to talk to, and I bet everyone else will say easy to listen to. So all of you out there, thank you for watching Litvak Leadership Live. If you liked this video, hit a like, share it. Go to YouTube, type in my name, Sean Litvak, and subscribe, and then you can find the videos to watch over and over again to hear the wisdom of Colleen Perkins. That's it for today. Everyone be blessed and come back tomorrow.